Welcome back to the natureboys channel. My name is William, and today I'm upgrading my hypo para het sharp albino boa constrictor to a 40 gallon. So we actually got her at Daytona, and we haven't figured out a name for her yet. We got her at the auction supporting US ARC, and she's getting big, and she's a good eater. She's doing really well. We are gonna jump right into setting up her new enclosure. So this is the 40 gallon enclosure that we got just recently, and we have 3 more, but we need 6 more. So Zoom in if you're watching. We'd appreciate it if you'd send us some. But anyways, let's get into setting up this enclosure. I really like how Zoom Ed sets up these enclosures with the front openings and with the backdrop too. Boa constrictors are a tropical species, and that's why we have moist cocoa chunks in here for her. Deserty species are not a big fan of cocoa chunks because the cocoa chunks and cocoa fiber, they hold humidity, so it's a perfect substrate for tropical species like boa constrictors. Now sometimes they like to bury themselves, that's why I'm going to put a little bit of a thicker layer. We're going to put some of her old decor, like her hides and some of her branches, in from her old enclosure into this one. She's actually coming from a 20 gallon into a 40 gallon, so this is a decent size upgrade for her. And then of course we'll put some other sticks, but we use the sticks and branches and stuff that was already in her enclosure, so that way she has some of the familiar smell. I think that's a good piece for her. She actually doesn't have a name yet, so you guys should comment down below. We'll read your comments and we'll pick out a name for her. And we're also going to put some lava rock in here so that way she can shed her skin easier. Once we're done, we're going to add a little bit more cocoa chunks in here so that way it has better depth in the enclosure than just a flat bottom. And now we're going to add some flowers or decorations into her enclosure. What I like to do is I'll bend the bottom and I'll fluff out the flowers or whatever decor we have, and I'll stick it behind a rock so that way it looks like it's growing out of the rock or the structure that we have. We'll do that with other things too. Sometimes you have to bend it a little bit differently just to get it to fit in there correctly. I like to have it spread out a little bit too, the way she has enrichment. So we're gonna put her old water bowl in here because it's still a decent size for her, and we gotta make sure that all these are solid enough for her to climb on. Sometimes what I'll do with this is I'll add some cocoa fiber underneath. See, now it's not as wiggly. And there you go, how you set up a boa enclosure. We're gonna put her in, and we're gonna leave her in here for a couple days. Just leave her alone so that way she has time to adjust to her new enclosure. She will like move around her enclosure, and the flowers will be able to have her hide, and also her hide right there will allow her to hide herself. She's gonna search around her enclosure and try to figure out what her best hiding spots are. She has a bunch of familiar smells in there, so that way she feels a little bit more comfortable. But we're gonna leave her in here for a couple more days and just let her get used to this enclosure before we try to feed her. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I was reminding you to get out and stay out.